Chicken Bros, it's your man Smile here, coming at you with a brand new video with my co-host for today, Babyloser.
Hi guys, it's Babyloser.
And today we wanted to give a bit of a little moment of silence for such a lovely bird by the name of Bogey. So before we even start this video, we wanted to throw this out there. So today she has brought to my attention, now that this is over, a video of sorts that she had saw in her school.
JRTC class?
Yeah, military class, so America.
Heck yeah.
So basically, this guy was saying why you shouldn't stand for the flag. And as somebody who has always stood for the flag, I would like to see his thought process and how I feel about it. So the way this video works is we are going to have this as our talking point screen, and we will show this man's video throughout. And because of fair use, as long as we are giving informational judgment upon anything's video, we can put in segments. Therefore, this is completely legal. So let's get into it.
First, the words "under God" weren't even in the Pledge of Allegiance to begin with when the pledge was written by a Baptist minister named Francis Bellamy. If you want to be really amused, go on Wikipedia and look up the Bellamy Salute. The words "under God" were added in 1954 when we were trying to differentiate ourselves from those godless communists. The words are just a relic of the Cold War. They need to go. But for now, the legal challenges haven't worked, so we're stuck with them.
So for this first part, I would like to say that, well, yes, I can see that all of America is not underneath God at the moment, which I understand. I am Christian. I will not back down from that. And I understand that not everybody's going to agree with that. I understand. Therefore, I can kind of sympathize with this man on this part. However, not only does he sound extremely biased, however, in my opinion, I do stand for the flag fully because there are many people that have rallied underneath that flag throughout the years and have died for such an occasion. In the military, in the war against Britain to become our own country. For all of those people, I find it disrespectful not to salute, if for nothing else, for those people. And if I didn't agree with everything America does, because I don't agree, I will still stand for them because of that. If I agree with nothing they do and want to go to Canada, then I would still stand for those who have died out of a sign of respect for human beings who have given their lives.
Also, as a student in a military class in school, I'm literally with instructors who have been on the front lines and have fought for our country, so it's very disrespectful to see somebody saying this kind of stuff, and it kind of hurts a little bit.
What's worse is that the pledge used to say we were one nation, indivisible, but when "under God" was inserted right between them, it actually divided us. By the way, it turns out that if you actually tell people everything I just told you and then ask them if they support the words "under God" in the pledge or whether they want to see it out of there, more than a third of Americans say we should remove it when they have the whole story. If you want to know more about that study, there's a link below.
Okay, sir. So I have 2 points here for you. Number one has to do with your website. You have put into a link, and I will link below as well as the link to this video for my people who like to watch this. I must ask you, sir, that website that you sent me had a scale, another pie chart from another website. So I went to check that website and their mission statement. And they are predominantly Christian, whereas you are predominantly not.
Atheist.
Yeah, you are predominantly atheist. Therefore, it is in both of your best interests to skew it in both different angles. So, for somebody like me looking in on this, it seems like a big game of tug-of-war, where you are skewing your things way out of proportion, and they are skewing theirs way out of proportion. And so I can't believe either side of this story. And number two, you stated that one nation under God, indivisible. You said that under God is the problem in here in the way that it causes division. The only division I can see that happening would be a controversy between atheists and Christians, which is making this seem more of you are mad at Christians for having that in there, so you make a whole thing on why you shouldn't stand for the flag. But I digress. America itself is built upon a kind of division in and of itself. You are either white or you are black. You are Christian, you are not, you are male, you are female, you are Republican, or you are a Democrat. That is all big divisions. And I'm sure I offended somebody with that.
Feminist, non-feminist?
Yeah, you see the point here? We are built upon a division. And that is why there is so much strife in our community in America. That is why a lot of this is going on. Not because you put under God in a Pledge of Allegiance.
Next, the pledge isn't really about patriotism. I love this country, but I don't like and support everything it does. And this idea of unquestionable allegiance to the country, it's kind of scary. If I told you that a nation like Saudi Arabia or North Korea made all of their public school students say a pledge of allegiance to their country every day, well, you would call that brainwashing.
Okay, so first off, did you do any kind of research into North Korea and the functionality of it? Because that's exactly what they do. They force their children in schoolhouses to sing songs for tourists about how great Kim Jong-un is. They're forced to look upon the pictures of Kim Jong-un and the former leader next to clocks every single day. They're forced to do all kinds of things in their schoolhouses to satisfy Kim Jong-un and everybody else.
Isn't his police officers all women?
His what now?
Police officers, aren't they all women?
I don't know about that.
Oh.
But I've done some research into North Korea, and it weighs out, because all we have to do is stand up once a day and say a pledge to honor and show our patriotism, because yes, patriotism is exactly what the flag and the Pledge of Allegiance is made for. It's made to show our patriotism and our thankfulness towards the people who have died for our not having to be like North Korea, for our country and for our freedom. That's exactly what it's for.
Basically, what he is saying is, I refuse to stand for a flag that allows me to have the freedom to not stand for a flag.
Yeah.
I mean, do you notice the problem with that there? I mean, I'm just throwing that out there.
And why are we pledging allegiance to a flag? I mean, it's a symbol. I know it's convenient in a classroom, but this is part of the reason so many people have trouble understanding First Amendment issues.
What does a flag have to do with First Amendment issues? I mean, that makes you sound like you're smart, but let me tell you. You see, First Amendment, completely explanatory by this. My own teacher in 12th grade gave me a perfect explanation. You are free to do what you want to do until it infringes upon somebody else. In this sense, I can say all I want. The sky is orange. But if I go and steal somebody's TV because freedom, well, what happened to the man's freedom who lost the TV?
Nobody said you were going to get in trouble for not standing for a flag. That is your rights to do whatever the heck you want to do. I don't know why you're getting pressed about this.
If it is your freedom and your choice because you are not hurting anyone. If you don't know what the First Amendment right is, look it up, look up videos upon it. There's video after video. If you are in America and have questions about it, look it up. You can find plenty of explanations for any grade level.
Not only that, to go on to the quote-unquote, the flag is just a piece of cloth. Yes. The cross is just a piece of wood.
Or say, $1 is just a piece of cloth.
You mean paper?
paper. But you want a bunch of that sheet of paper, that piece of money. You want a bunch of that.
Because it symbolizes whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're middle class, whether you have money to spend or not. And the cross is a symbol. But I don't worship the cross. I worship the person who died on the cross.
Yeah,
I
the
worship
symbolism.
I worship the symbolism of the cross. I worship the person who died on the cross for my sins, but I'm not going to get into all that talk at the moment. But yes, back to that. The flag is quote unquote just a piece of cloth. But it's more than a piece of cloth. It symbolizes the 50 states, the 13 colonies, and the blue part is the Union. It symbolizes the unity of the United States of America. So as I stated with the cross, this piece of cloth symbolizes these veterans, these war victims, and everybody else who have stood on the front lines and fought for our rights that we have today, who have fought for the Constitution that you are stating false things about.
You know, if you ask people if it's okay to burn a flag, they'll be like, whoa, you can't do that. Why not? It's a piece of cloth. You know, any meaning we give to it, it's all in our heads. You see Catholics doing this all the time too with communion wafers. You know, they freak out anytime someone gets a hold of a consecrated wafer who shouldn't have it in their hands because they think you're destroying Jesus or something. I mean, that's a symbol. No one's eating your God.
I can't help but mention, your tag is the friendly atheist, but nothing about that was very friendly, especially saying no one is going to eat your God. Mr. Atheist Man, that's not very friendly.
Okay. I would also like to add to you, sir. Imagine of America as kind of a person. Now, you can make any judgment to him, hit him, not really hit him, but, yell at him, do things to him. That kind of stuff, and it'd be fine. But you go burn something of importance of him, that is ruining your First Amendment right. Do you notice that, sir? So that's like me going over there and messing up something of yours. So for people who have pride in America and hope that America can become a better place given the right circumstances and amount of time and amount of work it would take, that is kind of wrong to state that it is okay to burn a flag, even if it just be a piece of cloth. That's like me burning all of your money and saying, oh, it's just paper. I mean, come on, it's just a few bands of paper.
The pledge is a time waster, too. I mean, in all the years I taught at a public high school, we said the Pledge of Allegiance every day. We also had a moment of silence every day, and it's not like it helped. For most of us, for teachers and students included, it was just one of those rituals you had to slog through before you could actually get down to work. If anyone wants to say the pledge, they can. We just don't need to waste class time to do it.
Okay, sir. I see your argument here that kids probably won't care, but may I also add, kids really don't care about much at that stage of life. In high school, you know what I was caring about? I was caring about going home and playing some dang Call of Duty on the game. I wasn't worried about much else. But what that is doing is implementing the fact that America is their home, is where we are. And until we turn of age and can choose to leave the country, we are here and we need to understand here's rule set. Am I right?
Yes, I also have something to add. In the morning times at my school, I don't know about whatever school you taught at, but we stand up for the pledge in the mornings. We say the pledge, say it in Spanish. We sit down and we listen to morning announcements. That's what makes it drag on, is the morning announcements. A lot of stuff we really don't need to know to benefit us in our daily school life. So no, I don't think the pledge and 5 seconds of silence is really dragging anything on and making anything worse for anybody else.
And if you're going to state that, that really makes me think you're being a biased teacher. And you see, a teacher's responsibility is not to raise a kid on ideals.
Pause. And if you're saying that, well, teachers don't teach anything and about the pledge, and I don't think that we should really do it because nobody knows about it. You were a teacher. Why didn't you teach the importance of the pledge?
I mean, that is a good point. Because you see, a teacher's job is to give out the info you need to make it in life as an adult. That is a teacher's job. Now, we could argue if school these days is really the right kind of schooling or not. And
that's for another story.
That's another day. But at the end of the day, a teacher's base job is not to give out their opinions. It is to give out the information the child needs to grow. So for you to say that really puts it on me that you were not really teaching in the way that a job description would want you to. That is not being rude. I am not saying you are or you are not. That is just how I feel about this situation and what I am coming to understand. This video is starting to get quite long, isn't it? First video to hit the 16-minute mark, other than a live stream.
Emotions now. And having kids just kind of recite things without actually thinking about them is not what we should be teaching them in school.
That's what church is for.
And what about the last phrase in the pledge? Liberty and justice for all. Really? Do we have that? Ask LGBT people if they have equal rights everywhere. Ask the people in Ferguson, Missouri. Or poor people trying to have their voice heard in the upcoming elections. I mean, it would be great if we actually had liberty and justice for all, but we don't. So let's not pretend that we do by saying those words. That's why you shouldn't stand for the pledge.
So for this last point right here, because there is nothing else in his video other than thank you for watching, which I'm going to do, I would like to ask you a question, sir. Although I agree with you on the point that these days a lot of people are finding it tough to get jobs, tough to get this and that because of how they feel about themselves or the color of their skin or this or that. Is that really a problem that not standing for a flag can solve? Is that really a problem that if every student is to sit in their chair and not stand for a flag, going to solve? No. What you're doing is raising another generation of people that aren't going to give a crap about America and do questionable things because screw the government. Screw the government. That's how they're going to feel about it. Do you see my point here, sir? That is my closing statement. Everything you have said has turned into either you don't like the government yourself, so why should anybody else? Or you don't like the idea of a religion, so you throw it off to the flag and don't stand for the flag. That is my closing statement. Here is Babyloser's closing statement.
So basically, it's not the rights, it's not the laws, it's not the Constitution, it's none of that. It's the people. It's the people who are in the wrong. There's, in Missouri, like you were saying, same-sex marriage is illegal, but you can go out of state, get married, and move back to Missouri. Nothing wrong with that. But it's a fact of it. But to go further than that, you have the people who stand for different things, and that's what makes it divided, is the people. There's nothing in the Constitution that says, since you're black, since you're white. We abolished those laws long ago.
With that being said, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell, make it ding, and we will see you all in our next video.
Bye, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to me. I'm planning on making a vlog video soon.
Peace, boys.
Bye-bye.